Hello, pups and kittens. Well, this morning I was on a local radio show called The Morning Mares with Lee Burr and Kent Bagnall, and we were discussing the new show that's going to premiere this Friday called The Flea Circus. It's going to be very similar to the podcast, but now on the radio. So I wanted to share this clip with all of you so you can hear it as well, because I know we have listeners all over the world. And I'm hoping that you guys will stream this live show each Friday and chime in and be part of it as well, just like the podcast. It's very important to me that I bring you guys as much great content as possible and share these wonderful people with all of you. So with that said, let's play this morning's clip from the Morning Mares.
15 minutes now before the hour of 9 o'clock, sunny skies, a beautiful Tuesday morning, and 53 degrees. We started at 40, at least at 5 a.m. this morning. We're up to 53, looking for a high today of 75, and then into the 80s for the next few days or so. You're listening to the Morning Mares on this May 14th. Chris Green is with us today. Chris is going to talk with us about a program that's going to debut on KTTR at 9:05 this Friday. And Chris, welcome to the Morning Mares.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be able to share a room with you guys.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about the program. We've talked about this for about a month or so, and what it's going to be all about this Friday at 9:05.
Well, we're going to be starting a new show, and it's going to be all about pets. And we're going to get the insight from different people in the community and from all over the country who actually are real experts when it comes to pets. Mm-hmm. And so we just decided, and you know, it's funny, you said a month. We've been working on this for about 6 months. It's been a while. Yeah. And we started talking about this because of the podcast that I created and thought, you know what, this would be a great radio show that would bring in the community and bring a lot of knowledge to everybody around the area.
Uh-huh. And the show is named?
The Flea Circus.
The Flea Circus.
And that's because, well, dogs and cats alike, they unfortunately get fleas, so that was a nice little way. And, well, we all know radio can be a real circus.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We have one here every morning.
I know.
What qualifies you to do this program?
Well, that's a good question. So for the last 5 years, I have been working quietly in the community, helping different furry friends, whether it's rescuing TNR, which is Trap, Neuter, Return, fostering, adoption events, a great deal of little things that we've done just quietly to help out. And, well, you know, we did start our own grooming business right here in Rolla called The Groomer Next Door. So I've had a nice hands-on approach for the last 5 years, and of course doing 260-something episodes of the podcast.
Very good. Now, you already have a guest scheduled this Friday.
I do. Would you like me to announce it?
Sure.
All right. Well, this Friday in our opening episode is going to be Steve Gray from the Rolla Police Department. He was one of my very first guests when I started the podcast, and he has a very unique story. He had a canine partner, really great dog, and we're going to talk about all of that, find out what it's like to be a police officer, what it's like to have a canine partner, and really go into all of that and then more.
Mm-hmm. Now, the partner's gone, right?
The partner is actually, he is retired, but he is still living with the officer at this moment.
I thought it was kind of interesting. I was looking at Facebook the other day, as I do almost every day, but they were talking about a school in Arkansas, the high school. Mm-hmm. And you know how in the yearbook they put pictures of all the students. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the pictures was of the security dog that roams the school.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, I've actually seen some of those where it's one of the kids' service dogs will actually join in on that photo, and I always love that.
Yeah.
Those are the greatest.
Yeah. Well, they think enough of them to put them in the yearbook, which I think is pretty cool.
It is. And, you know, coming from a room right here where I'm surrounded with guys who really love our furry friends, this just seems like a great conversation to have. And I'm pretty sure majority of the people in this community have dogs or cats or love them. So it's a great conversation and kind of gets away from that unfortunate topic that's usually plaguing the media right now. Mm-hmm. So we can get out of that topic and learn about something more fun and have a good time.
Absolutely. My our jeweler at our store down on Pine Street has a service dog. He's Tony is a vet from Iraq. Ooh. And he has a service dog that he got through the Veterans Association.
Oh, nice.
And so that would be an interesting guest to have sometime, to have him talk to you about it.
Well, you know how to reach me.
It's a terrific dog. I'm going to have him come in sometime. He's a beautiful Labrador Poodle mix.
Nice.
So and he's very bright. It's only 7 months old and just an amazing dog, and follows him around and takes care of him, and so it's a terrific part of our lives is our animals.
Well, see, Lee, we already have our third guest lined up.
Nice? Well, there you go. Like I said, well, it's not surprising because there's a lot of people that like animals, like dogs and cats too. But I mean, the bottom line is people are more sensitive to animals now than they were 40, 50 years ago, and dogs are certainly an important part of our life. I mean, we talked about the service animal. We talked about they have dogs in nursing homes and places like that, and children's hospitals and things like that to make life a little better. And I know my dogs give me a tremendous amount of joy, even though they do absolutely nothing most of the day. But they give me a great amount of joy, and I, if I could, I'd have 10 more.
Right. Well, I mean, why stop at 10?
Yeah, well, you got like 20, right?
I'm close too, it seems like some days, yes.
So are you guys going to talk about anything beside cats and dogs? Are you going to talk about birds or other exotic pets?
Well, at the moment, we've kind of talked about that. We're going to start off a little slow, kind of get everybody used to this, and then we probably will find different interesting topics. I did a whole series on hedgehogs last year, and so it is a very interesting, exotic animal to have, and there's so many things that we don't know about them. So I imagine at time we're going to cover all kinds of interesting topics.
And we'll be. Go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, is it going to be a call-in format, or is it going to be, what's the format of the show going to be?
Well, it's going to be a weekly program that primarily will deal with, as Chris noted, people that know about animals, deal with animals, work with animals, animal caregivers, and sure, we'll take calls, but we're only going to have about 30 minutes, so it's going to be kind of a tight schedule, but no doubt we'll take those calls.
It's funny, I keep thinking to myself, I got to answer these questions, and I realize, hey, Lee, you're with me on this.
Yeah. Well, I've wanted a show like this for a long time, and we've done kind of bits and pieces of stuff like this, but I just really think we have a large listenership of people that care about this particular subject, and it's good to have you here to be able to do that for us.
Hey, I'm just glad to be able to share a mic with you. I've always said, I've been saying it for 6 months, this would be a great thing to have, and we've had some time where we've shared a mic in the past, and it's like, we can do this. We really have a great show to put together for everybody.
Well, you are on probation now.
Well, yeah.
As Kent's been on probation.
I'm still on probation. That's been for 2 years.
For 2 years.
So as a person close to the industry, what do you think of the Rolla dog park, the new dog park out there on the...
Well, I'm going to answer this in the best way. If this rain would just stop, I could take my dogs there more and have a little bit more fun, because I've been dying to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, it hasn't really stopped. I go by there at least once a week, and there are people out there all the time. In fact, I talked to Lily over at the bank yesterday, and she says she took her 3 dogs out there on Sunday between the raindrops and had a wonderful time. She was really concerned about one of her dogs who's a little bit shy, but boy, as soon as they were small dogs, as soon as they got into that small dog yard with other dogs, boy, they just had a ball.
I bet.
So we've had a lot of visitors out there. I believe they're planting the center yard now, trying to restore it a little bit. The yard to the south, the one dog yard to the south is the large dog yard to the south is being used, and then the small dog yard has never been closed off, and it does okay. But a little bit of restoration out there. The grass is starting to grow. Of course, they've got the restroom is in place. I don't know if it's in operation yet, but of course it's. I don't know that I've probably been out there a dozen times in the last month, and I would think maybe only one time that there weren't dogs there.
Wow, do you have a restroom for dogs too?
Well, yeah, they're called the dog yard.
That's a good idea.
It's called the dog park, actually. We're going to plant some fire hydrants in the middle, and we'll see what happens. But there are 8 benches out there, so folks can sit down and relax and watch their dogs play. And and it's been a great facility. I understand also. I heard rumor that there's a dog yard out at Love's Truck Stop for the truckers that travel with their pets. Now this was through one of my chat rooms, and I don't think it's as it's just a single fenced yard. It's not as accoutremated as our other yard as far as benches and facilities, but right out there by the Love's Truck Stop, and they're expecting a couple of more dog parks in the community upcoming too. So
that's interesting. And I can imagine. I've heard a lot of truck drivers have dogs with them are great companions. That's become really popular over the last decade. So I can see a lot of truck stops doing that.
Well, truckers either take their wives or their dogs.
Mostly their dogs.
What would you rather have in a truck with you all day long?
My dog.
There you go. All right. So anyway, that show premieres this Friday at 9:05 here on KTTR, and it's called
The Flea Circus.
The Flea Circus, and Chris Green will be your host, and we will have a featured guest this Friday as well.
Very good.
Perfect. And I just want to say hi to all my friends over at Choices for People, where I actually work as well. Those guys are absolutely amazing and just absolutely a great place to be.
Very good. They're building a new admin office over on Highway 72, right across from the new animal shelter. How convenient!
I know. I thought that too. That is funny. It tied in all perfectly, didn't it?
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, very good. Well, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris Green with us today. It is 5.5 minutes now before 9.
Again, thank you to Lee Burr and Ken Bagnall for having me on the Morning Mares. It was an absolute blast, as it always is, and it is absolutely amazing to be able to sit in a studio with Lee Burr and do this show. He is an amazing DJ, somebody that I'm hopefully going to learn a lot from, and this show is going to be absolutely amazing and a great experience and wonderful for everybody to enjoy. Again, the show is going to air on Fridays live on KTTR, and it will be at 9:05 to 9:30. And we already have our first guest, as I had mentioned, which was going to be my friend Steve Gray from the Rolla Police Department. And we are working it out on future episodes and weeks and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And it is going to be a work in progress. But at the end, I'm really privileged, really honored that we're able to do this. And let me tell you, I never thought I would actually have a radio show. I always thought this would be it, and it is an absolute privilege and an honor to be able to share this with everyone. Well, that's it for this week's podcast, I guess, and I will bring you more from the Flea Circus, the Groomer Next Door, all the above. And please check out the Facebook page when I drop the link to when the show is going to go live. Give us a listen. Love to actually have people listening from all over the world. That would be awesome. All right, folks, have a fantastic week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.